Okay, so I believe I am having issues with my new IPR. I actually just put on a new Motorcraft IPR on this thing, and I want to swap it back to the old one to see if my symptoms go away. But to get the IPR out without removing your fuel bowl, I actually just did a fuel pump on it a couple days ago. Fuel pump, and then new fuel lines, and then new IPR, just because I had all that out. Might as well, the other one was original to the truck. But now it seems like I'm actually having issues with the new Motorcraft part, which I did get from the dealer directly, you know, for directly. So maybe it's just a bum part, but I'll end up seeing here once I get it swapped over. And on these OBS forged with the fuel bowl being right here, it's definitely harder to get to the IPR. But what you can do is you can undo these lines. These are 9/16. It'd be smart, make sure you hold both sides of the fitting so you don't break it off. So there's this upper right here and then this lower. And one thing I forgot to mention at the start was I loosened this upper clamp right here on the return, just so I can kind of swivel and put it out of the way. And then there's two bolts. This is the one that goes furthest this way up here, and then there's one further back. This is this bolt. They're both 10mm heads, and you can separate this thing apart. The FPR, this is fuel pressure regulator, and there will be an O-ring right here. Make sure try not to rip that O-ring, or else you're gonna have to source a new O-ring for it. Mine came out okay. This is a newer fuel bowl. And then, as you can see, your FPR screens in there. But you can separate this, and on the later 90s OBS 7.3s, you actually have a molded line that comes up, and this just pops right off. So that's how you can take it off, pop it off, move it out of the way. Then you can see the IPR. I already got the solenoid off, as you can see, and then the nut and the spacer. So you can just take a 3/4 inch, get down there, take off that nut, and then you can slide everything off. Helps to have a magnet if you drop stuff down in there. You can pull it back out. And then to get this part out, you're gonna want a 1 1/8 inch wrench. Okay, so with your 1 1/8 inch wrench, you can use the box end, and you can actually just slip it down here. I already swapped it, but you can just slip it down and you can get on that, and then you can take it all the way out, and you got just enough clearance to pull it out with your hands, and then put the new one in. Try to be fairly quick because it is oozing out oil, and then you can go back and then tighten, make sure it's good and tight, and then take it off just like that. You can put on the solenoid. Pretty easy to slip it on. Just put it all the way against the fuel bowl and then slip it on. Then you got the spacer piece. You can just work on down there. Be careful not to drop it, just like that. And then you can put the nut back on. Just work it on, and then you can use this wrench. Be very careful not to over tighten this, because the spec is 53 inch-pounds. Okay, so got the nut on, got the connector back on. Now you just gotta put the FPR, or the fuel pressure regulator, back. Just take your O-ring, put it right around here, make sure there's no debris around it, and then you can put this back over here and then bolt it up. All right, so this is obviously afterward when I went to edit this video, and I thought I better add this in here. So the hardest part, I would say, of this job is to actually have the O-ring sit in the right place and not be disturbed when you're swinging this FPR back over. What I found was the easiest way to keep that O-ring in place is get some sticky grease, and you actually want to put it on the fuel bowl side. There will be a groove around in here that you can grease up the O-ring and have it stick in there. And then you want to swing over the regulator and try not to disrupt it. It's actually pretty difficult because you gotta put the regulator down on that piece of molded line down there. while swinging it over and try not to disrupt it. It actually took me a couple tries to get it right, and one of the times I actually dropped the O-ring down in the valley and I had to fish it out with some wire and a flashlight. But if your O-ring tears doing this, or you lose it, or you need to replace it, I actually found the return repair kit from Motorcraft. It includes the O-ring and new FPR screen and a couple plastic pieces, and then that plastic ball in the return that you can get. So I'll link that in the description. Might not be a bad idea to have on hand or replace, but yeah, just like I was saying, biggest thing is just keeping it stuck against the fuel bowl side when you're trying to move it over and not disrupt it, because as soon as you swing it over, I mean, you got to pretty much keep it completely centered or it'll get disrupted and then it will fall off. So took a couple tries, but as long as the O-rings stick on the side and you're careful and you have some patience, you can get it back on. I got these 2 bolts tight. This is the longer one goes up here, the shorter one goes back here. Don't over tighten it because it is threading into aluminum. But once you got that, you can plug everything back in. So I just disconnected this. This is the fuel restriction sensor. So you can just put all this back. And then I got this right here. This is for my glow shift gauge. So I can just go ahead and snap all that back, tuck it away. And yeah, I mean, besides tightening that clamp, that's pretty much it. I'm putting those lines back on. Like I said, this lower one goes right here, 9/16 wrench. This upper one, another 9/16. You can peel this back right here, and you can put another wrench right there while you're turning this, just to, so you're not putting all that force on that fitting. But yep, next thing, put those lines back on and then put that clamp back on. But yeah, that's how you change the IPR on an old body style 730 without making special tools. So yeah. Alright, I'll do it in a second here. So I'll romp on it. Nothing, my foot's down. Until I let off. Now I gained back. There it goes again. About 3,000. IPR is gonna drop. Got nothing because that's at 3. There it goes again. Alright, well, upon driving it with the old IPR back on it, it was the IPR. Before, you would mash the pedal pretty good, and then the ICP would jump up to around 3,000 PSI, 3,000, 31, 32, 33 in there, according to the demand of the pedal. And the IPR duty cycle percentage would go up to build pressure. After you would romp on it, say I romp on it and I'm about to shift gears and I let off, the IPR duty cycle drops off to eliminate some of that pressure. And it seemed like it wasn't quite corresponding right. It would dump off pressure till it was at like 2 to 300 PSI, and the truck needs around 450 to 500 to crank. So it would just cut out every time I would do that. So every time you'd romp on it and shift, the truck would cut out. And then as soon as it catches itself, like if the IPR felt like it was sticking, it would come back to life, but it would cut out every time it dipped below that. And I kind of thought that was fishy. I just put an IPR in it, and it seems like it's not regulating that right. you know, the duty cycle should go up to build pressure in the system when it needs it. So when you're giving it more pedal, more demand, it needs more pressure, so the duty cycle goes up, and as soon as you let off, it goes down to open up that valve more to dump off some of the pressure. And it seems like either it was sticking or it wasn't quite responding right or something. But yeah, now before when I would even do this, it wouldn't be happy to get on it, and then right now it wouldn't have any pedal, but it's responding now. So if I drop a gear here, so let me slow down. So if I'm doing this, before if I rip on it super hard and I would shift, alright, here's fifth, I'd have no pedal. Now I got pedal again. So it was the IPR, the brand new IPR from the Ford dealer was bad, evidently so. So that is interesting.